You know, you can tell a ton about a person just by looking at their relationship history. And today, we're diving deep into the story of a coastal prince named Jarru. We're going to unpack the loves, the heartbreaks, and the duties that really forged him into the man he is today.
Okay, let's just dive right in with this zinger. When a new girl shows up, Jarru's own brother, Aratwa, says this boy is re-entering his menace era. I mean, wow. It's so dramatic, so intense, and it immediately makes you ask, what in the world is a menace era and what happened before to make this a re-entry?
So to get what that even means, we've got to rewind. We have to go back to the very beginning. See, Jarru's story is built on a pattern of powerful connections, and each one taught him a pretty tough lesson about love and loyalty. And like a lot of these stories, it all starts in childhood.
And believe it or not, this whole story, it doesn't start with a menace. It starts with total innocence. We're kicking things off with Jarru and a girl named Belly Boo, his first crush, and yeah, his first real heartbreak.
I mean, look at this. It's the textbook definition of a childhood romance, right? They were basically joined at the hip in preschool. By first grade, they're confessing their crushes on the swings. Third grade, you get that super awkward first kiss. It was sweet, it was innocent, and honestly, it was probably doomed from the start as they grew up.
But that slow drift? Yeah, it eventually hits a wall. Middle school happens, you know? New classes, new friends, and for Jarru, a new crush. All that distance just became too much, and it all came to a head one night under Arakana's 2 moons.
And there it is. I don't like you as much anymore. Oof, that's just a brutal thing for a kid to say, isn't it? It's clumsy and painfully honest. He wasn't trying to be cruel, really. His attention was just somewhere else, and he just didn't know how to handle it any other way.
So this was way more than just a breakup. This was lesson number 1 for Jarru, his first real taste of loss, and realizing his words have weight. That childhood promise of forever got shattered, and that echo of guilt, well, it would stick with him and totally shape his next big relationship.
All right, so that first heartbreak kind of sets the stage for a totally different chapter in his life. We're moving into Jarru's middle school years, and this time it's all about family pressure. This relationship felt less like a choice and more like a duty. Welcome to the Rissa era. So in comes Rissa, right as Bully Boo is fading out. She's his cousin, a witch in training, and at first she was a huge comfort to him, helping him get past all that guilt. But yeah, their bond got complicated. Fast.
And this right here, this is the tug of war at the center of it all. On one side, you've got his very traditional grandfather who sees this perfect destined match and basically says, yep, arrange it. But then you have his dad, Katarim, pushing back hard, saying, he's just a kid. He needs to go to school, not be a pawn in some family game.
So this is the question that's just hanging over everything, right? Was he actually falling for Rissa, or was he just playing a part in a story that his family had already written for him? He felt trapped, and that feeling, that was going to lead to some serious recklessness.
And that feeling of being trapped, well, that leads straight into high school and the official start of what his brother called the menace era. This is where things get messy. This chapter is all about a fiery, all-consuming, and super dramatic teenage romance with Sarah, the most popular cheerleader in school.
I mean, this quote right here says absolutely everything you need to know. This is Jarru talking after he sees his own older brother, Achia, just chatting with Sayera. This isn't I have a crush, this is she's mine. It's possessive, it's competitive, and it's all about beating his brother. He wasn't just trying to win a girl, he was trying to win, period.
And you gotta see it from Sarah's side too. She was completely torn. With Ataya, the quiet tree boy, she felt safe and cherished. But with Jarru, the fiery boy, it was a thrilling, emotional storm. He made her feel like the most important person in the world, and that's a tough thing for a teenager to walk away from.
But, you know, storms like that, they don't last forever. Rumors started flying, family got involved, and then, just like that, Sarah was pulled out of school. It was over. No goodbye, no closure. Just gone. For Jarru, this was another devastating heartbreak. And it taught him that sometimes, no matter how intense your feelings are, there are outside forces you just can't fight.
So, after all that high-drama, high-stakes romance with Sarah, Jarru's next big connection is a total 180. It wasn't about romance or rivalry at all. It was about protection, and it revealed a much more mature side of him.
This is what he says flat out to Rissa when she asks about Yaya, a refugee princess he rescues from a world torn apart by war. It's so clear, so definitive. He's drawing a line in the sand. This is different. He's not the boyfriend here. He's the guardian. And listen, he wasn't just saying that. He backed it up every single day. He literally slammed a bully against a locker for making fun of her. He patiently taught her their customs. He was there for her through nightmares and even showed her the ocean for the very first time. This was pure, selfless care.
This whole thing with Yaya, it completely changed him. For the first time, it wasn't about his own ego or winning someone over. By focusing completely on her safety, on her well-being, he really grew up. He found a deeper purpose. And honestly, it was a healing period for him too.
Okay, so now we've arrived at the big one. After all these different lessons, in innocent love, in duty, in rivalry, in protection, someone new walks into his life. And this connection, it feels like the thing his entire journey has been leading up to.
So get this. Jarru's just having a normal day, right? Dealing with family drama, annoyed that he has to get dressed up for dinner because some cousins from the desert are moving in. He has no clue. Absolutely zero idea that the person walking through that door is about to flip his entire world upside down.
And this is that moment. It's instant, it's powerful, and it is completely mutual. For her, it's this flustered, "Oh, desert spirits, he's looking at me." And for him, his heart literally slams so hard in his chest he almost grabs it. This wasn't a slow burn, it was an explosion. And that's why this connection just feels different, you know? It's not the childhood innocence he had with Belly Boo. It's not the forced duty he felt with Rissa. And it's definitely not the teenage rivalry that fueled things with Sarah. This one feels spiritual, electric, like it was meant to be.
Which brings us to the very end of our breakdown, with the question he whispers to himself that night. After a journey through every kind of love and heartbreak you can imagine, he finally meets someone who makes him feel like his entire life has been leading to this one moment. So the real question is, after everything he's been through, is he finally ready for it?